Once upon a time, in a peaceful ashram, a wise monk and his devoted disciple decided to embark on a journey, seeking wisdom and new experiences. After days of walking, they came across a vast empty field where a farmer stood staring at his land. Curious, the monk asked, "Why aren't you working on your land? The field is empty." The farmer sighed and replied, "Last year a drought destroyed all our crops. I fear it will happen again this year. So I've decided not to plant anything." The disciple, puzzled, asked, "But how do you know the drought will come again? And if you don't plant anything, how will you take care of your family?" The farmer smiled and said, "I have a cow that gives me milk. I'll sell her milk and manage for the year." Tired from their journey, the monk and his disciple asked the farmer for shelter, and he kindly invited them into his humble home. That night, as they rested, the monk had an idea, a plan to steal the farmer's cow. He woke his disciple in the dead of night and whispered, "Let's take the cow." Shocked, the disciple protested, "Master, this farmer has given us food, shelter, and kindness. How can we steal from him?" But the monk, convinced of his plan, persuaded the disciple. Under the cover of darkness, they stole the cow and left. Years later, the disciple, now on his own journey of growth and reflection, returned to the same village. Expecting to find the farmer in poverty after losing his only possession, he was astonished to see him thriving. The farmer's wealth had increased and he was living better than ever before. Curious, the disciple asked, "How did you manage to turn things around? How did you become so successful?" The farmer smiled and said, "The night your monk and you stayed at my house, my cow was stolen. At first I thought it was the worst thing that could happen to me, but with no other choice I returned to farming. And that's when I realized something important. My prediction of another drought was wrong. The rains came, the crops grew, and I became the only farmer in the village with a harvest. I sold my crops at high prices and prospered." He paused, then added, "If the cow hadn't been stolen, I would never have returned to farming. I would never have experienced this success." Sometimes, it's the unexpected changes, the ones that seem like setbacks, that push us to do things we never thought possible. The disciple stood in awe, realizing that the farmer had turned a loss into a triumph, all because of a single, unexpected event. In that moment, he understood something crucial. Sometimes life's challenges are the very things that lead us to our greatest opportunity. So remember, when things seem uncertain and change feels uncomfortable, it might just be the beginning of something better.